On any given city block during the lunch rush, a food truck operates in one of the most distracted retail environments on Earth. For the operator, the entire business model hinges on a microscopic window of time. You have exactly 3 to 5 seconds as a pedestrian approaches to convince them to stop rather than keep walking. The highest rate of customer attrition occurs precisely in those few seconds. We call this the conversion leak.
When we map the physical footprint of the operation, that leak isolates down to a single physical node, the menu board. A static printed board or a handwritten chalkboard introduces immediate environmental friction. Sun glare washes out the text, physical distance makes it illegible, and poor handwriting forces the customer to work to understand the offering.
Operators seeing low foot traffic routinely blame their parking location or the quality of their food.
The data points to a different culprit. A static, unreadable menu board actively caps the maximum length of your queue and depresses the average ticket size. If a customer cannot instantly process what is available to order right now, their purchase intent evaporates. Modernizing this single point of interaction corrects the leak. Implementing a digital menu board can boost foot traffic capture by up to 30%.
Losing a customer in that 5-second window represents a terminal operational breakdown at the point of decision. Many single-unit operators dismiss digital menu boards as expensive visual decorations. This misunderstanding leads operators to purchase a screen only to display a static, glowing PDF of their paper menu. A digital menu board is the single most cost-effective operational lever available to maximize throughput.
To achieve this, the board must function as a dynamic extension of your point-of-sale system. Generating a return on the display requires mastering the physical hardware specifications, the operating software, and strict content discipline. Maximizing the system's performance requires coordinating the hardware, the software, and the logic of the content itself.
In a business running on razor-thin margins, treating your point-of-sale display as a passive poster is financial negligence. Before we look at software or user interface, we have to recognize that capturing foot traffic is strictly a physics problem.
The human eye is biologically drawn to brightness and contrast. In an outdoor setting, direct sunlight immediately destroys both. Luminance is measured in nits. If you mount a standard consumer-grade television on the side of a truck, the sun overpowers the backlight and turns the screen into a dark mirror. The physical specification is non-negotiable. You need a 24 to 32-inch commercial display explicitly rated for high brightness output. Second, the hardware requires rigorous weatherproofing. It must withstand ambient dust, direct rain, and constant generator vibration. Then comes the spatial geometry of the sale. The screen must be mounted exactly at eye level to intercept the pedestrian's natural line of sight. It also requires an anti-glare protector to ensure the text remains sharp and legible from at least 15 feet away. If a potential customer has to squint, lean in, or adjust their angle just to read your offerings, the physical friction is too high. They will walk away. Overcoming that friction with extreme physical legibility is the literal engine that drives that 30% increase in curb conversions.
If your hardware fails to win the battle against the sun, the quality of your food and the sophistication of your software are entirely irrelevant.
Once the hardware secures the attention, the software must run the operation. We can establish a baseline for this by looking at enterprise telemetry data. This chart shows digital menu board adoption across 21 different industries. Fast food and quick service restaurants dominate the dataset, with 82% of their screens displaying a digital menu, while adoption drops steeply to 34% in car dealerships and into the single digits for corporate offices. We can see how concentrated this is when we look at the global total. Across all industries combined, menus make up just 7% of total digital signage screen time.
Quick service restaurants saturate this space because their content has a built-in operational mandate. Their information has to change constantly. Operating with printed menus means halting a fast-moving lunch rush to explain to a customer that a heavily promoted item is sold out. A digital board allows for real-time 86ing.
When inventory runs dry, a staff member updates the board directly from a point-of-sale tablet, instantly removing the unavailable item from public view. By eliminating the mistakes and reprint fees associated with paper menus, 72% of surveyed restaurants report an overall reduction in operating costs. A true digital menu board actively manages inventory flow and protects the operator's time. This leads to day parting, a yield management strategy where the entire menu changes based on the time of day. Corporate giants like McDonald's have invested heavily in decision logic technology and artificial intelligence to automate suggestive selling across their fleets. Through these drive-through screens, enterprises dynamically push high-margin, context-specific items depending on the weather, current traffic, and precise inventory levels.
That same logic scales down directly to a 100-square-foot food truck on a street corner. Mobile operators can execute this exact day-parting strategy from a basic tablet. They can automatically swap a breakfast menu for lunch or prioritize cold drinks the moment the sun hits the curb. This transforms a static list of food into a responsive tool that adapts to the immediate conditions of the street. Executing enterprise-grade logic at the curb is no longer restricted by technology. It is simply a choice of operational execution. Even the most advanced hardware and software environments fail with ruthless visual discipline. The user interface must limit the total item count to eliminate cognitive overload, utilizing bold, high-contrast fonts for maximum clarity. It requires rotating, high-resolution imagery that allows the customer to visually process the food, driving impulse upsells while they are still standing in line. This brings us to the psychology of the queue.
Long static lines cause customers to abandon their wait entirely. This chart details food truck wait time thresholds. While 26% of customers demand their food in under 5 minutes, a much larger 41% will accept a 5 to 8 minute wait if the line is managed correctly. Queuing theory establishes a clear principle. Unoccupied time feels longer than occupied time. A dynamic, visually engaging menu acts as a direct distraction. It keeps the customer occupied, giving them something to process and artificially compressing their perceived wait time.
Strong visual discipline performs double duty. It accelerates the initial decision to buy for the person at the back of the line and anesthetizes the pain of waiting for the person at the front. The physical reality of mobile vending remains brutal. Operators fight for margins on hyper-competitive streets, relying on highly fickle foot traffic. Surviving that environment requires cutting through the industry noise and executing a strict protocol. The display must be entirely legible in direct sunlight, and the content on it must be actively manipulated to match the rhythm of the day. An optimized digital menu board allows a mobile business to capture higher traffic volumes and adjust margins in real time.